Hello and welcome to Math with Dotun, where math is simple, fun and practical. So in this video, we'll be talking about like and unlike terms. Alright, so we already defined what terms are, and if this is the first video you're seeing, please go to the playlist, Algebra, and then you see where we've talked about terms. Alright, so like terms and unlike terms. So like terms are terms that have the same variables and the same powers. The same variables and the same power, as simple as that. So when you find a term with the same variable, terms with the same variable, you know that these are like terms. And those variables must be of the same power, all right? So for instance, for example, you have 3x, 5x, all right? These are like terms, right? Because they have the same variable and the variable are of the same power. This is just x raised to power 1, right? So they have the same power, okay? Then if I have y squared, 2y squared, 4y squared, or it could even be negative 4y squared, all right? These are like terms, okay? Because they are of the same power and the same variable, okay? I believe that is understood. The same power, the same variable, okay? These are like terms. So when we talk about unlike terms, it's the opposite, right? It means they do not have the same variable, or they have the same variable and the variables are not of the same power, all right? That means they are unlike terms. Or they have the same power but different variables. They are unlike terms. So 3 ways. Either you have different variables, different powers, or the same variable, different powers. Okay, let's see. Different variables, different powers. So you have x, you have y squared, you have 3p. Okay, so these are unlike terms because they do not have the same variables, they do not have the same power. And then you could also have unlike terms with the same variables but different powers. So you have x squared, 3x squared, 3x raised to power 3, all right? These are unlike terms. They are unlike terms because though they have the same variables, but the variables are of different powers, okay? These are unlike, you cannot operate them, okay? And you have the same power but different variables. Let's say you have x squared, y squared, p squared, okay? So all having the same power but different variables. These are still unlike terms, okay? So if you don't have the same variable, the same power, you cannot call them like terms. So it is very important because for us to simplify or solve our equation in algebra, we must understand the concept of like terms. You cannot operate terms that are not alike, okay? So that means I can add x plus y squared. So x, if I have x plus y squared, as the last thing I have y simplifying an expression, that would be my final answer, okay? Because I can't simplify it further, okay? But if I have 3x plus x, these are like terms because they are of the same variable and the same power. So all I need to do is to check, okay, if I add 3x plus 1x, what would be my answer? And that would be 4x simplified. So we can simplify like terms, but we cannot simplify unlike terms. That means we cannot add and subtract them. We can multiply, we can divide. You should understand that. I can multiply x times y squared. That will give me xy squared. I can multiply unlike terms. I can put them together as division, but I cannot add or subtract them while simplifying. I hope that is clear. So you must understand how to identify your like terms. And how can you identify like terms? Please tell me in the comments. 2, you also understand that like terms are very important because those are the kind of terms that you can add and subtract, simplify. Okay? But if they are unlike terms, you cannot simplify them. I believe that is clear. Alright. So tell me in the comment what you understand by like terms and unlike terms. You can give me examples of like terms and give me different examples of unlike terms. I'll be waiting to see the comment. Thank you and God bless. Bye.